Did you know that the average car engine lasts about 150,000 miles? But the SUV engines we're about to show you, they're hitting 250,000, 300,000, even 400,000 miles. These aren't just outliers, they're the cream of the crop, the top 1% of engines that refuse to quit. And we've got 10 of them lined up for you today. Number 10. Mitsubishi 6G75. The Mitsubishi 6G75 engine is a hero in the world of SUVs that doesn't get enough credit. Some engines are more well-known than this one, but this one has a secret. It just won't quit. The 6G75 is a real marathon runner, even though it doesn't get much attention. So what's so great about this engine? It's all about making things smart. The 6G75 has a strong cast iron block and cylinder heads made of aluminum. This combination makes it strong and heavy at the same time. It also has a MIVEC variable valve timing system that keeps it running smoothly even after a lot of miles. Not sure about this? Just ask Montero and Pajero owners. Many people have said that these SUVs have gone over 250,000 miles without any problems. One owner said they'd driven 300,000 miles on their car with only basic maintenance and oil changes. One owner said they'd driven 300,000 miles on their car with only basic maintenance and oil changes. But here's the catch. Care is very important. If you keep up with the maintenance, this engine could easily go over 250,000 miles. That just goes to show that the quietest engines can say the most. Now that we've talked about engines that have something to prove, let's move on to a powerhouse that combines style with extreme durability. Get ready to be amazed by some amazing German engineering. Number 9. BMW M57. Most of the time, luxury and durability don't go together. The rules are being broken by one German diesel engine though. What does 300,000 miles sound like in a BMW? It's not just possible, it's happening right now. What's the secret? That iron block is very important. The M57 diesel engine is built like a tank, so it can handle the high pressures that come from burning diesel fuel without stopping. The engine in this luxury car isn't like most. It's been over-engineered to handle a lot of abuse. Now though, things get really interesting. The M57 isn't just tough, it has a lot of torque. With all that low-end power, the engine isn't constantly under stress, which means it lasts a lot longer. People who own X5s say their engines are still purring like kittens even after 300,000 miles. Don't get me wrong, this isn't something you can just leave alone. Cars that run on diesel also need care. It's very important to change the oil regularly with the right grade and replace the timing chain when it wears out. If you take good care of this engine, it'll last longer than almost everything else on the road. When we talk about tough engines, let's change gears and go to the United States. You won't believe what's about to happen when American muscle talks about living longer. Number 8. Chevrolet Small Block V8. Trucks with a million miles on them are well known. But what about SUVs that just won't give up? What built to last really means has been changed by Chevrolet's secret weapon under the hood. Prepare to change what you think you know about American engines. There's a story behind the Chevy Small Block V8 engine. Also, it's important to keep things simple. Each cylinder of this engine has only 2 valves and the block is made of cast iron. So there are not as many moving parts and less chance that something will go wrong. It's like the Nokia 3310 of engines. Simple, but almost impossible to break. But don't be fooled by how simple it is. This V8 engine can power a wide range of vehicles, from family-friendly Tahoes to heavy-duty Suburbans. What about pulling something? When you load these engines up, they laugh. They're made to last longer because they can handle the stress. This is where things get crazy. We're talking about SUVs that regularly go over 300,000 miles. Some Tahoes and Suburbans have odometers that look like names of people. They're still going strong. Keep your hats on though, because we're about to look at another American V8 that's pretty close to Chevy. Things are getting tougher, and the next move will blow your mind. Number 7. Modular 4.6-liter V8. You may think you know a lot about American V8s, but Ford's 4.6-liter engine is about to blow your mind. Why does a design for an engine from the 1990s still rule the roads? It's time to find out what makes Ford's million-mile wonder work so well. Here's the thing, this engine is in a lot of cars. It's everywhere. The Explorer and the F-150 both use the 4.6-liter V8 engine. That's for a good reason. It has a brilliantly simple SOHC design. Things that don't move as much are less likely to break. Ford took the phrase "keep it simple" and turned it into an engine. Don't believe that this ease of use means less power though. The 4.6-liter engine is the perfect mix of power and durability. It has enough power to pull your boat, but it's not working too hard all the time. Explorers and Expeditions can easily cruise past 400,000 miles because of this sweet spot. On the upkeep, it's easy. The iron block can take a beating, and the timing chain keeps you from having to replace the belt all the time. That kind of engine keeps going even when you don't pay attention to it. Let's switch things up a notch. We're about to look at an engine that is built in a very different way to make it last longer. You won't see this one coming, trust me. Number 6. 4.0-liter inline-6. After Ford's V8, we move on to an engine that is so tough that it makes tank treads look weak. The 4.0-liter inline-6 engine in Jeeps is not only reliable, it's also pretty much immortal. Why is a design from the 1980s still the best way to make an engine last a long time? It's all about being easy. This pushrod engine doesn't have as many moving parts as a normal DOHC engine. Less stuff that can break means less of it. It's like Jeep took a look at modern engines and said, nah, we're good. But don't be fooled by how simple it looks. This engine is made for battle. Conditions off-road that would make other engines cry, that's nothing compared to the 4.0-liter inline-6. Cast iron makes it strong enough to handle rocks, mud, and anything else you throw at it. Let's talk about numbers now. It looks like no big deal when we see Cherokees and Wranglers going over 300,000 miles. Some owners say they've gone 400,000 miles with only minor repairs. It's crazy. In terms of maintenance, this engine is a dream to work on yourself. Repairs are easy because everything is easy to get to. It seems like Jeep wants you to keep this engine running for a long time. However, please wait, as we're about to move on to some very modern engine designs. The 4.0-liter may be old school, but what's next? You'll lose your mind. Number 5. Nissan's Smooth Operator. Nissan has a secret weapon in the SUV world that you might not know about. You might think they only make sports cars. The VQ series engines can change into a variety of shapes and sizes to fit different needs. The best part is that they're made to last. Let's talk about that building made of only aluminum. You can do more than just lose weight. This design literally keeps things cool when they're under a lot of stress. Not as much heat means less damage, even after a long trip of a few 100,000 miles. No need to change the timing belt now. A timing chain is used in the VQ, which makes it last longer. Chains can last as long as the engine does, which saves you time and money. To be honest, people who own Pathfinders and Xterras are going 250,000 miles without a problem. A man in Florida drives a Pathfinder that is powered by VQ and has gone over 300,000 miles. It still works like butter. But there is a catch. You need to keep getting those oil changes. To keep these engines running smoothly, they need to be serviced regularly. If you take good care of your VQ, it'll last longer than your last 3 relationships put together. Japan has some of the best engineers in the world. Just wait until you hear what Honda is working on. Things are about to get more interesting. Number 4. Honda's J35. You think Honda is only reliable for small cars? Not so fast. The G35 engine takes all the great things about those bulletproof Civics and makes them bigger, like an SUV. This power plant does more than just get things from A to B. It does it 250,000 times. The secret is that it's made of aluminum, which keeps it light and cool even when you're carrying the whole family. But what's the real magic? That's VTEC, kid. It's no longer just for street racers. VTEC in SUVs means that the engine has more power when it needs it and less when it doesn't. It's like having 2 strong engines in one. Need proof? Ask people who own Pilot and MDX. Going over 250,000 miles doesn't seem like a big deal to them. Plus, even with all those miles on them, these engines are as smooth as silk. It looks like they're going backwards in time. But hold on to your hats, because the engines we're about to look at will make the J35 look weak. What's next will shock you. Number 3. Toyota's Unstoppable Force, 2UZ-FE. You thought the J35 was tough? You won't believe how funny Toyota's TUZ-FE engine is after 300,000 miles. It's not just an engine, it's a legend that won't go away. What makes it so strong and long-lasting? It's all about how well a cast iron block and aluminum heads work together. This set is great because it gives you strength where you need it and light, efficient strength where it counts. It's like Toyota put together the Hulk and the Flash into one powerful package. This is where it really shines though. There's more than one kind of SUV that this engine can power. It's where beasts like the Land Cruiser live. These are vehicles that can handle rough terrain and pull things with ease. Let's talk numbers now. There are Land Cruisers that have more than 400,000 miles on them. They're still going strong. It seems like this engine doesn't like mechanics at all. The really cool thing is that this engine is so well made that it can handle being ignored for a while. Don't bother with 1 or 2 oil changes, it doesn't bother the 2UZ-FE. This engine is like a honey badger. It doesn't care. Even though the 2UZ-FE is great, Toyota wasn't happy to just sit back and relax. They turned all of this engineering know-how up to 11. Get ready because we're about to look at a new Toyota engine that's changing the rules for how long something can last. Number 2. Toyota 1GR FE. Think about an engine that likes being abused. One that runs on rough trails like their smooth highways and keeps going when everyone else has given up. Toyota's newest product isn't just made to last, it's designed to live longer than you will. Here's the 1GR FE, which is Toyota's modern masterpiece. This beast powers some of the toughest cars in the world, like the legendary FJ Cruiser and the 4Runner, which is almost impossible to damage. What's so great about it though? VVTi is the most important thing. This isn't the engine timing your grandfather used. VVTi changes the timing of the intake and exhaust valves all the time. As a result, the engine is always in its best range, whether you're driving at high speeds on the highway or slowly moving over rocks. It's like having two engines in one that won't shut down. But now things get crazy. It's not a big deal for 4Runners and FJ Cruisers to go 300,000 miles. These engines keep going and going. It's like they've found a way to stay young forever. And off-road, it doesn't matter what the 1GR FE is going through, it can handle it. Have at it with the dust, mud, and extreme heat. It's all nothing for this engine. You might not think that engines are the longest they can last. Hold on tight though, because Toyota has one more thing planned. This engine will be so powerful that it'll make the 1GR FE look like a child. Number 1. Lexus Toyota 1UR FE. Remember how impressive it was to drive 300,000 miles? Toyota's newest masterpiece laughs at such low-level numbers. This isn't just an improvement, it's a complete change in the way engines are made. The craziest part? Some of the most expensive SUVs on the road are powered by it, but no one has seen it. The Lexus Toyota 1UR FE is the most reliable car in the world. This engine is smart as well as tough. Don't be fooled by the fact that it's made of aluminum, which makes it light and efficient. It's made to last, this power plant. This is where things get crazy. The 1UR FE has a dual VVTi system that changes the timing of the valves all the time. Having a tiny engineer under the hood keeps everything in balance all the time. What about that direct injection system? It's not just about power. It's also about stopping carbon buildup, even after driving a lot of miles. Now let's talk performance in the real world. Some high-end SUVs with this engine have gone over 400,000 miles without a problem. Imagine getting that many miles on a car that still looks like it just came from the dealership. That's how the 1UR FE works. The really cool thing is that this engine is almost foolproof. It has computer systems that are always watching out for low oil pressure and overheating. It's like having a guardian angel made of metal under the hood. So why is the 1UR FE at the top of our list? Easy. It's not enough to last forever. You need to do it in style, with power, and with the latest technology. It's not just an engine. It's Toyota's biggest accomplishment and proof of what can be done when passion and engineering come together. Trust me, it's going to change the game for good. We've learned a lot about SUV engines that won't quit. One thing is for sure, these engines are built to last. They're in cars from the underdog Mitsubishi to the luxury powerhouse BMW, and they're in American muscle cars to Japanese engineering marvels. How do you make it work? A smart design, good materials, and careful engineering all work together to make it. But here's the catch. Maintenance is very important. If you take good care of these engines, they will last for a long time.